Well, we're getting ready to set our well today. The pump inside the well. We got the boom truck. Got the roll of wire on the telehandler and our trailer full of pipe. So we'll see how it goes. Here the guys are getting ready to install the pitless adapter. We drilled an 1.5-inch hole in the side of the well casing down there. And then on a wire we lowered this down, and Rogelio down there at the bottom had a steel rod that he stuck through it to help guide it once he got it, and then pulled it through, and then torqued
Do we need to clean off the surface
the nut
of the pipe
that holds the pitless adapter in place. The pitless adapter is what holds the whole well pipe stack once the thing is ready. Here's all the prep work that went in the day before. You can see that we've got the boom truck brought up to where the well's, the pump's going to go down to the well. We're bringing the telehandler around right now with a very heavy roll of wire. It's 1,000 feet of 4-gauge wire. Cost a pretty penny and is very, very heavy, too heavy to hold. But we have it on the telehandler like this so it can roll on one of the hay spears and let the wire off as we go. Here we are working on getting the pump and motor connected together, getting all the electrical connections done. We used silicone paste inside of the heat shrink connectors to help protect those wiring connections, and we put a lot of this green tape around it. Huge amount of stuff because you really want to protect that wiring, because that's probably the most vulnerable component of the whole process. And since we're dropping this pump down 630 feet in an 800-foot hole, we want to be absolutely sure that everything's done right. We do not want to have to do this project again. So there was basically a whole day of just prep work, testing everything. We ran the pump separately and got everything ready, got all the equipment up here. And then at the end of the day, we were ready for placing it. I'll show the full process here of dropping one of the pipes in the hole, so you can see how it goes in regular speed. We had 29 of these pipes to put in, so the rest of it I'll show with sped up footage, but thought it might be interesting to see how it's done with one. We're using a galvanized steel pipe, which is what you have to use for a pipe that's going down to a depth like what we are. PVC or poly just isn't strong enough to hang 640 feet down the well hole. So we're using a galvanized steel pipe. Each length is 21 feet long and threaded on both ends with a coupler so that you can tighten it. And so we apply the anti-seize, which helps lubricate it as well. And then we tighten the coupler onto the pipe below and then tighten it on the pipe above. And then we're able to lower it down. You can see here I'm taking off one of the pipe clamps that holds the pipe in place. When he lifted it back up there a little bit so I could lift it up. And now we're about to tape some of the air pressure and the electrical cable to the pipe. We did that every about 6 or 7 feet so that the electrical cable and the air pressure pipe would not get damaged as it went down into the well, or damaged in the future as there's vibrations or whatever may happen in the well itself. You can see that we lower it fairly slowly, and then periodically we're going to be taking a break and putting the tape on. Here you can see Marty grabbed the tape. He's wrapping it around, and that's going to secure the electrical cable to the pipe itself. I was doing the cutting, and then we're slowly lowering it back down. I'm trying to keep the pipe centered as much as possible in the well hole so that it's not rubbing or causing any damage to that electrical cable or to the pipe. It's super important that you do that Otherwise, you're going to have to pull everything back out again, and it won't work. Or if you scratch it up, it could cause issues, a year down the line or something along those lines, probably at a time when you don't want to be working on these things. But this method worked pretty well. We were able to get all 640 feet into the well once we were set up and rolling in, I don't know, probably about 6 hours of work is what it took to get it in. I think at one point Marty measured the time and said we would, like, one stick of pipe and doing all this stuff took about 7 minutes. It did take us longer a couple points when we had either a bent pipe that we had to get rid of, or when we were putting the torque arresters on, which took a minute to put the clamps on the torque arresters, or when we were putting the check valves on, because you don't want 600 feet of water in a column hammering down onto your pump and destroying your pump. So there's actually a check valve that goes immediately after the pump, and then we had a check valve around 200 feet up from that, and then another 200 feet up we had another check valve. So those 3 check valves help prevent water hammer, help prevent that sort of damage that can happen from a large water column falling when the water's cut off. And right now we've come back over here, we're getting another pipe ready to lift. We had a little hook deal that you'd put around the neck of the pipe and the collar, and then you'd be able to boom up. My cameraman is very interested by the boom, and so he's getting everything ready and he's going to boom it up. Saved myself. I received a quote from another pump guy. He charged $2,200 a day, and he said it'd take him 2 days, so $4,400. Plus he marked up all the gear and equipment, probably another $2,000 or $3,000. So it got pretty expensive. This saved quite a bit of money, but still was a big job. It took a lot of work, and all 3 of us guys working on it for probably about 2.5 days, getting everything prepped, everything set up, and then doing the install itself. You can see here he's lifting the pipe. I'm holding the end so it doesn't drag along the ground and get dirt and crap in the threads. And then once it's up high enough, I'm able to release it and go get the anti-seize to put on the threads. So that's what I'm headed over to do. And Clint would boom it over and get it ready to lower right after we threaded it. So we put the anti-seize on, and then we put it on the collar. And it's being held up right now by a pipe clamp and a metal plate that kind of supports it. So you put it on here, you spin it until you get it started, and once the resistance grows too great, we grab the pipe wrenches and pipe wrench it on. That was fairly tiring. By the end of the day, I was fairly tired. It's just 29 of these, but your arms definitely start to get a little tired. I kind of got a cramp in my hand or something that was bugging me. But yeah, it's a pretty big job, but it's actually pretty doable. Like, none of this is rocket science. I mean, it's just threading pipes together and pipe wrenching them together really solidly, and then running the cable next to the pipe and taping it on well. Testing the pump was probably the hardest part. We have a variable frequency drive, and that was pretty confusing to figure out. The documentation on it was pretty bad, and the little LED screen, like with all the parameters and options, was not very intuitive. Plus, we tried wiring it into our shop's generator input outlet, which the generator kind of flips the electricity, and so the thing didn't work for a while until I figured out that what the problem was and switched it over to one of our welding 60 amp outlets that was able to run it. So you can see me here tightening the thing with the pipe wrench. Marty's got another pipe wrench on the one below it that he kind of holds with his leg, and he just holds his statically while I turn mine. But worked pretty well. I think, I'm not sure if I'd want to do a bigger one. I have some 10-inch wells, or with 8-inch interior pipe, which is very big column pipe, which, you know, would be thousands of pounds. You have to use a way bigger boom truck, something that can hold, you know, many tens of thousands of pounds. And I'd hired a company to do that for me last summer, but I think we could probably do something like this in the future, but we don't have the right truck. We'll probably stick with the guys that we bought all this equipment from, guys over at Irrigators. Irrigators really treated us well. We were very happy with how they did things for us. And here's time-lapse footage. I wish it went this fast. You can see my little cameraman there on the left. But you can see us working pretty quickly. Clint was the guy working the boom primarily, and I was kind of primarily the guy threading it and actively pulling the pipe wrench, and Marty helped with helping getting it lifted, putting the anti-seize stuff on, taping it as we went, getting the torque arresters on, all that sort of stuff. It's a job that could be done with 2 guys, but it's definitely nicer with a 3-man crew. I felt like we were pretty efficient actually doing the work. It took us about 6 hours, as I said, 5 to 6 hours to drop 640 feet of pipe in the well, along with putting 5 torque arresters on and adding 2 check valves.